um outro approach. Aê!
You're from Brazil? Cool. This is guy from Brazil.
This is an intriguing amateur fight between a Brazilian boxer known as Anaconda and an older boxer from the United States. Anaconda isn't just a nickname for this fighter, it was chosen to emphasize his aggressive and powerful fighting style where he wraps around his opponent with relentless pressure.
Hands it down. Free canvas. Paint the canvas. Knee. Got him. Knee.
Meanwhile, the American boxer relies on his jab and powerful punch combinations. He is also skilled at controlling the rhythm to dominate the pace of the fight.
Move, Joe. Position. Off the ropes, Joe. Hands up. Off the ropes.
In the end, the Brazilian fighter is knocked down, and the American boxer emerges victorious.
Hands up, Joe. Hands up, Joe.
Next, we have a fighter nicknamed the MMA Monster from Brazil, facing off against a fighter known as Viking. The MMA Monster uses his long reach to land powerful strikes that are hard to anticipate. Meanwhile, the Viking fighter uses quick jabs to close the distance. Weighing in at 220 pounds, the MMA Monster clearly has the upper hand in size and strength. However, the Viking fights with a relentless spirit, and his incredible stamina allows him to keep fighting until the very end. This MMA Monster from Brazil also faced off against a hefty fighter from Russia.
You ready? You ready? Fight!
Good luck, guys. Good luck.
Who would have guessed that beneath his larger frame, this fat fighter had an incredible amount of strength. He came out aggressive from the start, putting pressure on the Brazilian fighter. The Brazilian fighter had to resort to his signature Anaconda-style technique to neutralize the strong attacks from the hefty Russian. However, the Russian fighter found his momentum when his opponent stumbled. He dominated from the top position, landing a series of strikes that forced the referee to stop the fight. In addition to the Anaconda-style techniques, another legendary Brazilian martial art is Capoeira. Capoeira's distinctive movements emphasize complex acrobatic moves, with its signature swaying steps often confusing opponents. For example, we see this in a match where a capoeirista faces off against a highly trained professional MMA fighter. As soon as the bell rings, the capoeirista demonstrates the basic footwork of capoeira, known as ginga. The triangular foot movements remain steady, making capoeira easily recognizable, but also disorienting. It often looks more like a dance than a fighting stance. After that, the capoeirista unleashes a spinning kick. Fortunately, the MMA fighter manages to avoid the attack well. The MMA fighter attempts to retaliate with an upward kick, but the capoeirista avoids that as well. Then, unexpectedly, the capoeirista sweeps his opponent to the ground. They then engage in a prolonged ground battle, with both fighters trying to gain an advantage. Next, we have a fight between capoeira and MMA in a kickboxing arena with its respective rules. At the start of the fight, the MMA fighter lands a sharp side kick that sends the capoeirista crashing to the ground. The MMA fighter also shows great defensive skills, making him difficult to break through for his opponent. Throughout most of the match, the capoeirista keeps using the ginga technique to make his attacks unpredictable. But the MMA fighter is always able to anticipate and avoid these unexpected strikes. Capoeiristas perform acrobatic maneuvers like flips, spinning kicks, and body rotations to introduce an element of surprise and artistry into their fights. As seen in this moment where a capoeira practitioner faces off against an MMA fighter with a karate background and a black belt. After a tough ground battle, the karate master is overwhelmed by a barrage of punches to the face, ultimately unable to continue the fight. Still in the same arena, the next capoeira fighter only needs 28 seconds to knock out his opponent.
Na perna, na perna, na perna. Ah, ele não quer não, porra! Ele não quer. Aê!